Hello, Girl Scout Comic Con 2021. I am Johnny 5, and I'm here with my good friend Benjamin from Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Who's that cosplayer? You can find me on Instagram at Johnny_5 and Benjamin at KingBenji_Banks. For our interview now, we have Amanda, RailwayWren Cosplay. Thanks for joining us, Amanda.
Thank you for having me, Johnny. I'm really excited.
Hey, I'm excited too.
Benjamin and I have been just kind of talking about the Black Widow movie a little bit, and the fact that you showed up, you've done us a solid of showing up with the Black Widow cosplay there in tow.
Uh-huh.
So we've got some cosplay stuff we'd love to talk to you about for the Girl Scouts tonight, and I'm going to hit you with the hard question out of the gate before Benjamin gets you the cosplay question. And that super difficult question I've had to ask everybody right out of the gate is, what is your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Really? You're going to do this to me? Really? I didn't... I have to pick one?
No,
really?
You don't have to pick one, but I mean,
okay.
What's your... You can claim a favorite, I guess, or if you have a couple favorites,
okay.
In no particular order.
Always love the classic Thin Mint. Have loved that throughout, from being a Girl Scout to now. Still love Thin Mints. And then followed closely by... Oh, that's hard. It used to be called tag-alongs, and I think they're called peanut butter cups or something, but it used to be tag-alongs. But they're like that chocolate-covered peanut butter cookie.
Yep.
I'm sure that our panel of experts in the audience will be able to correct us on that one, but I'm familiar with those.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. And I remember growing up, I was not allowed to touch my mom's tag-alongs. If I did, then she was going to tag me along.
Absolutely, yeah.
They're delicious.
So the first question that I have for you is, every hero or villain, they have an origin story. Tell everybody who you are.
Well, my name's Amanda, or RailwayWren. I've been cosplaying since I can remember, since 4, just because I love costuming, but I really didn't get into it until about 2007. That's when I actually learned what cosplay was. And then I didn't really get into it until 2014, where I started to work on my craft, get better at sewing, which I'm still working on, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So as far as the along the lines of the origin story, so we kind of talk a little bit about how long you've been into it. Was there a specific catalyst that really kind of caused you to take the plunge and jump into the hobby, or did somebody kind of grab you and string you along for the adventure? How did you get into the world of cosplay?
Well, Halloween's my favorite holiday, so already love dressing up. And then one of my friends in high school invited me to one of those pop-up one-day conventions at the mall. Mm-hmm. And I literally pulled together a San from Princess Mononoke cosplay 5 hours before. I used an old bath towel for my fur cape. I found an old dress, I wore sneakers. It was great, but I had a great time. And it sort of led me to realize, oh wait, I can do costume work outside of just Halloween. And so I started hunting, and then I found Animazement, and just that's all she wrote.
Mm-hmm. And in true cosplayer form, you did the costume, that first costume, day of the con. So defining and learning about con crunch all in your first con, just like the pros. Benjamin?
Yeah, I was just going to piggyback off of that. I always think that it's awesome when, you go to your first con and, you put on either a cosplay or you wear a nerd accessory. But, when you went there, you actually put something together. And how was that moment? Just, being in your first cosplay and being on the convention floor.
I loved it. I was so proud of my little self, having pulled together stuff with my tinfoil fangs and my I just cut a piece of fabric and glued on a paper piece of just paper for her little headband, and I was having a great time. And then I got to meet other cosplayers, some of whom were much more experienced than I am, who'd been doing it for a while, or who had bought their costumes or made their costumes, and that was super exciting. And then I got to talk to people who liked Studio Ghibli, who liked anime, which I knew some people at school, but I didn't know a whole lot. So that was really eye-opening. I mean, I had a ton of fun. And I will say I was super comfortable, which as I have moved forward in cosplay has been a struggle to look like the character, but also be comfortable and not dying for 8 hours. So I sometimes miss those days.
Now that's awesome. You know, I just love how, you know, they're kind of take it back where you say, you know, you got into cosplay when you were 4 years old and then you just kind of grew into it. You leveled up and you see where you started at and you see where you are now, because you have a ton of amazing cosplays that I've seen on your Instagram. And I just want to ask you, what are some of your favorites that you've worn?
It's almost as hard as the Girl Scout cookie question.
But that's what we do here. We ask the hard question.
Let's see. Well, obviously Black Widow is favorite character and she is constantly being revamped. Just first time I wore her was just my hair because I happened to have red hair at the time, and you know, just constantly updating her. Currently, I mean, I have a love for Detective Pikachu because I love Pikachu, which happens to be behind you at the moment. And Articuno is my favorite legendary.
Nice, same.
And then I guess most recently, Lady Maria. That was the most intricate, although I basically scrounged that one, and I love her. And honestly, wish there was a Bloodborne prequel. If anyone out there knows about that, that'd be great. But
Johnny?
Well, I was gonna say with the Bloodborne thing, are you a board gamer? Did you know that there's a Bloodborne board game?
I knew there was a board game. I'm probably more of the casual board gamer. Okay. I mean, I have done some Dungeons and Dragons, Legend of the Five Rings, a little bit of Pathfinder, but I'd say I'm still probably more on the casual side.
That's fair. So bringing it back around to the cosplay end of things. So as part of your secret identity, we also happen to know that you're a bit of an artist in addition to, you know, so cosplay is one form of art that you do. In addition to cosplay, what other forms of art do you do? And when it comes to those forms of art, as well as your cosplay stuff, like, is there a particular favorite art form or a particular craft that you enjoy the most between what your outside of cosplay art is and what your inside of cosplay art is?
Well, that another long-winded question for me, because it's a multi-pronged answer. I guess to just give a little background, my undergraduate was in animation and videography and traditional art because I double majored. And then I'm currently in my master's for graphic design. So to try and focus in on a specific type of art, I mean, I've always been comfortable with traditional just 2D drawing because that's what I could do when I was younger, you know, pen and paper, you had it right there. But I mean, jewelry making, cold metal smithing is fun. I'm not great at clay, but I enjoy it. And then currently I am working towards my crafting in sewing, which is still rough, but is definitely a lot of fun to figure out because it's sort of a different way of thinking. I'm definitely more comfortable prop-wise, more comfortable envisioning a sword versus a dress and how that would go together.
Nice. So I have one more question for you, and then Johnny, I guess we can go in and wrap this thing up. But to anybody that is watching right now, what is some advice that you would give to them if they wanted to get into cosplay?
Be fearless, honestly. A lot of the time for me, I will have a build in my head and I will just get stuck because I'll keep thinking, well, how do I do this? Well, how do I do that? And honestly, I just have to start, just try. And it's okay if it's not perfect the first time. You know, just keep working at it and enjoy it. Have fun. I mean, that's what everyone says, but it's true.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I will 100% agree with Amanda on that. I know that some of the projects that I've worked on 100% started with the question of like, I wonder if I can ... So like Amanda said, if you're interested in the cosplay hobby and you've got those ideas, be fearless. Don't be afraid to pursue them. We've heard a lot of great stories from the cosplayers we've interviewed about, the community being very welcoming, about being able to kind of practice your art forms, et cetera, et cetera. So take the leap, join the hobby. It's a fun time. So thank you again so much, Amanda, for coming out, joining us for this interview. I know the Girl Scouts are very stoked for all the wonderful cosplayers we've had on. For everybody out there watching, again, I'm Johnny5. You can find me on Instagram at Johnny_5. You can find Benjamin at KingBenji_Banks. You can find Amanda on Instagram at RailwayWren, or you can check out her art portfolio at RailwayWren.com. Thanks again, everyone.